Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again, Hudson County View, live and uncut. I'm your host, the guy whose voice soothes like Sean Combs and can still throw hands like John Jones, John R. Hydus, and we got a lot of Hudson County news to talk about this week, just like every other week. So let's get right to it. First of all, many of you saw yesterday that Gabby Giffords, a former Arizona congresswoman who made a full recovery from an assassination attempt in 2011, joined Governor Phil Murphy in Jersey City with many other officials to discuss a new funding program for victims of shootings at hospitals, and that is $20 million in aid that went to 9 different facilities throughout the state. We're going to give you all the particulars on that. Additionally, afterwards, the governor did a media scrub where he took aim at Donald Trump for his recent rally in Wildwood, and I think it's safe to say that Mr. Murphy is not impressed. We're going to talk all about that as well. We're also going to talk about a payroll scandal that has rocked the Jersey City Recreation Department. 4 employees charged by the New Jersey Attorney General's office with embezzling funds with low or no-show jobs. So certainly we're going to give you the particulars there as well. We're also going to talk about Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala and his state of the city, which happened on Monday. And we're also going to talk about history being made at Bayonne High School, an actually rare non-political story where we're going to talk about the girls wrestling team pulling out a victory in the first ever dual wrestling match in Hudson County history. So with all that in mind, we're going to take a quick breather and we'll be right back.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just 1 path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Hydus, and of course, as always, joined with my colleague Mark Bucinich. Mark, looking sharp?
John, thank you. You as well.
Thank you. So, like I just said at the top of the program, we're going to be talking a little bit about Gabby Giffords making her way to Jersey City. We saw a number of dignitaries gathered at the Mary McLeod Bethune Center yesterday to talk about this new initiative. And again, this is to help victims of gun violence, not just those that have been hit by gunfire, but also those in the neighborhoods impacted that might have post-traumatic stress, to treat mental health. And $20 million in aid in VOCA funds, that's the Victims of Crime Act, a federal funding program. And one of the recipients is the Jersey City Medical Center. So we're going to take you to a clip from the press conference, and we'll tell you about it more when we come back. Former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords joined Governor Phil Murphy, along with many other officials, at the Bethune Center in Jersey City this morning to announce $20 million in hospital funding to aid victims of gun violence.
Increasing crime in places like Jersey City, we also recognize that any time that there is gun violence in any community, it reverberates throughout that neighborhood and causes trauma and PTSD and long-term impacts for people that live in that area. So we're focusing on that as a priority, and we're treating it more as a public health initiative as opposed to just violence. And that's really important to solving the problems going forward.
Today, it is my honor, along with the Attorney General, with Gabby and everyone here, to announce the first recipients of grant funding for hospital-based intervention programs. The grants we are announcing today will allow us to work directly to turn around lives at a single point of contact, the hospitals, where not just the victims of gun violence go, but where those on the other side of the trigger often end up. It will open up direct access to the services people need to find a new path.
I've seen great courage when my life's on the line. Now is the time to come together, be responsible. Democrats, Republicans, everyone. We must never stop fighting. Fight, fight, fight! Be courageous. The nation's counting on you.
We made a promise that day to be here to help you. And today I think we're making good on that promise. Not just for Jersey City, but for 8 other cities in this state by awarding $20 million in Victims of Crime Act dollars, or VOCA money, to establish hospital-based violence intervention programs, to provide those programs and participants also the technical and training assistance needed to truly break those cycles that plague our communities and victims throughout our state. And these 9 locations, as you can see on the map to my left, cover nearly every metropolitan area in our state.
I'm John Hudson with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community. And we're back. So, yeah, it's great to see the Jersey City Medical Center, one of 9 recipients, Mark. I mean, certainly anytime the local facility or local business, local organization could get some state or federal funding, that's a good thing for Hudson County. And the other 8 recipients here, the Center for Family Services in Camden, Trinidad's Health Foundation in Elizabeth, Atlantic Care in Atlantic City, Capitol Health in Trenton, Robert Wood Johnson University Health in New Brunswick, University Hospital in Newark, and Hackensack Meridian's facilities in Monmouth County. Oh, and can't forget about St. Joe's Health in Patterson. So, Mark, what did you think about this announcement yesterday at the Bethune Center?
Pretty significant announcement, John. I mean, it was interesting to see both the former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords there, joined by the Governor Phil Murphy, along with Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. And it was interesting, the quote that you provided to the readers as far as what Governor Phil Murphy said during the press conference, saying that, you know, he's honored there to be joined with other leaders on the state and local level, as well as the Attorney General, and taking pride in that New Jersey's fight against senseless gun violence. And then he went on to say that, obviously, when he, at the point of the announcement, when he made the funds available, saying, "It is my honor, along with the Attorney General and everyone here, to announce the first recipients for hospital-based intervention programs."
Yeah, well said, Mark. Good summation of my summation. And, seriously, a very significant announcement for New Jersey as a whole. And you also probably noticed, and some of our other readers probably noticed, and viewers, that New Jersey Attorney General Gubir Grewal made the notation that for the hospitals and treatment facilities that have these kind of inpatient programs, it's only a 5% chance of recidivism, but without these programs, it's all the way up to 25 to 35%. So obviously that's a significant difference, and hopefully something they could take advantage here in Jersey City and other urban areas like Camden, Newark, and those other municipalities I just mentioned. The other reason this was a significant announcement, Mark, I don't know if all of our viewers are aware, but Gabby Giffords, all the way up from Arizona, like we just were talking about, she survived an assassination attempt in 2011. Got shot in the head, made a full recovery, as we could all see and hear, and now she runs an organization called Giffords, which is providing research on gun violence. So it was a real surprise to see her make the way to Hudson County, but a welcome surprise based on the standing ovation that she received from the crowd over there. Yeah,
it's a really good point, John. I mean, it just shows you how dedicated she is to gun control. So whenever there's an announcement such as this involving the governor and the mayor, and she made herself available, it's very commendable on her part.
I would say so. Now, the other thing, on a completely unrelated note, Murphy, as I mentioned again at the top of the show, that he would be taking some questions from the media, which he did, and one of the first things to come up was, of course, Trump's Wildwood rally, and safe to say he was not particularly enthusiastic about it. So let's go to that clip, and then we're going to take a commercial break.
I would say, with all due respect to the president, who I will see in a couple of weeks at the annual National Governors Association, he's taking credit for things in New Jersey that not only has he not had anything to do with, he's actually made our challenges more difficult. Things like capping the state and local tax deductions. So for him to come in and do a victory lap when we have so many middle-class families hurting as it relates to property taxes and other cuts that he's made, I find quite ironic, to be diplomatic.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. Mark Bucinich, right to the side of me here. So we're going to talk about charges that have rocked the Jersey City Recreation Department, and we found out this week that 5 employees have been accused of low-show or no-show jobs in an $80,000 payroll scheme orchestrated by Angela Rivera, 40, currently a supervisor for housing code enforcement and a former payroll clerk and senior analyst for the rec department. She's been charged with theft by unlawful taking or disposition, tampering with public records or information, and forgery. And interestingly, Mark, those charges came all the way back on December 18th, and we just found out about them the other day, and according to the Attorney General's office. So, you know, your take on this long delay between the charges and now the employees being suspended without pay.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they were able to still remain on the payroll and be able to hold on to their jobs, even though this was unearthed back in December. So, not a little bit confusing about why it took so long to finally make this announcement that they were going to be work without pay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there had to be some sort of disconnect here. I mean, there was never any formal announcement by the AG's office, and it would appear that there was, again, just a real discord. Something clearly lost in translation, it would seem. Obviously, we don't know, but that was only, one of the 5 charged. The others were Alfred Corriado, Ashley Ann Cuevas, who is Rivera's daughter, Carlos Huertas, and Gabriel Villanova. And they are all accused of inflating their pay by getting extra money, extra compensation for work they didn't perform. So, and those charges were not actually implemented until the beginning of this month. And at the time that the crimes actually took place were said to be between July 15, 2015, February 13, 2018, again, according to the Attorney General's office. So, the rec department, Mark, you reported a lot on this reorganization at the tail end of last year. So it seemed like some council members had real concerns about what was going on with this reorganization. Obviously, it came to a vote and it didn't work out. But just tell us about what the climate was like politically back then.
Yeah, sure. That was already back in October, John, when the Jersey City Council, citing civil service concerns, voting to repealing which obviously did not They failed to repeal it in October. Our colleague Corey McDonald reported on that story. But when I reported on this story back in October, of course, many of the council members were expressing concern about, at first they thought it was just going to be a name change. And then when they realized, or they found out that the Department of Human Resources had posted a note on its door, notifying that civil and service employees within the rec department would have to reapply for their jobs. Well, that really caused an alarm and an uprising among the city council members.
Yeah, I mean, certainly did, Mark, and for whatever reason, it didn't have the votes, and the reorganization went through, and now we see this happening with this new scandal. I mean, it really obviously is raising some eyebrows. Another thing, the rec department, probably not one of the more successful departments in recent years in Jersey City. I mean, I believe that's 6 rec directors in 5 years. So certainly this is a department that's faced a lot of scrutiny and has had a lot of things to overcome. And certainly this isn't going to help that cause.
No, for sure, there's been a lot of instability within that organization, John.
So, other than that, there's not a whole heck of a lot to tell you. I mean, everything has been largely kept under wraps. We were able to talk to Peter Asseltine, a spokesman for the AG's office. He did add a little color. I mean, not a whole lot that we didn't already just tell you, but I will throw that out there. He said Rivera allegedly altered timekeeping spreadsheets to inflate hours for those employees, causing paychecks to be issued that reflected additional hours that the employees did not actually work. A number of those paychecks were deposited into Rivera's personal account after she allegedly forged the employees' signatures endorsing the checks over to her. Other paychecks were deposited into accounts controlled by the employees named on the checks. So we'll see what the future holds, but obviously this is going to be a hot story for many months to come, I would assume, Mark.
Yeah, particularly for sure it will be, John. I mean, the investigation has to play out, and it's interesting that this was, we have a comment here from the city spokeswoman, Kimberly Wallace-Galcion, saying that this was reported by the law department. So, and so the law department itself notified the law enforcement about this particular theft.
Yeah, that's what City Hall says. I mean, we'll obviously where it started and how it's going to end. I'm sure we're not going to know for a while the exact details, but yes, that was the comment from City Hall the other day when this news broke. So obviously this is a story that we have our eyes on, and we're going to give you guys the latest updates as soon as they're available. But for now, we're going to take another commercial break.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office space and an address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation. On-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. 201-521-9000 or visit on the web at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut. John R. Hudson, joined with Mark Bucinich. So, Mark, obviously you made your way to the Mile Square City on Monday for Mayor Ravi Bala's annual State of the City address, the second one. So tell us a little bit about what that was like and the major takeaways for those that couldn't make it or didn't have a chance to watch.
Sure, John. Yeah, he talked a lot about some of the initiatives his administration has been pursuing and some of the accomplishments in his last 2 years in office. And in reference to last year, I mean, in fact, I covered a couple of these press events that he then re-emphasized during his State of the City speech on Monday evening. Particularly, for example, if we just take one initiative, the Vision Zero plan, which he announced I believe it was last April. And at that time in April, he pointed out that he wanted to make sure that Hoboken could reduce all pedestrian fatalities or pedestrian or particular hit and misses with automobiles on the city streets, to reduce that by zero by 2030. And so, and he also noted that he's worked with his Transportation Safety Committee personnel, asking them to explore the possibility of reducing the city speed limit from 30 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour, because according to him, there's when the speed limit is 30 miles per hour, there's a 4-time greater chance that a pedestrian may be struck by a car and there may be more injury. And of course, some of the other announcements and some of the other initiatives that he discussed had to do with his climate action plan that he also introduced back in April. And some of the initiatives there, or some of the objectives of that climate action plan, is that he wants to make sure that all city-owned buildings get their energy from renewable energy sources, so that they be powered by renewable energy sources. And also on the environmental front, remember, the city banned all single-use plastic bags, and now on March 8th, I think they want to update that law to make sure that it pertains to all carry-out plastic bags. So, and of course, how can we not talk about another big priority, another big initiative was the new agreement that the city reached with the water utility, Suez. Now, we know about all the different water main breaks and the many different water main breaks that the city endured last year. And at the time, the city and Suez were pointing fingers at each other. And then the city, but then they announced an agreement with Suez whereby I think for the very first time, it set up this water utility so that the city itself can, with the revenue that's generated from water consumption, it could then take those funds and invest it into all these different upgrades that are necessary, because some of the pipes there date back to maybe the early 20th century.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Not too shabby for no notes. Yes, good. So you were paying attention. That's good to know.
Sure was.
And so, what do you think the biggest takeaway was? I mean, obviously, we had every state of the city, whether we're talking about Bill De Blasio, Steve Fulop, Ravi Bala, whoever it is, every state of the city is basically a year in review, right?
Of course.
So, what do you think that the biggest takeaway was, if you had to sum it up in a couple sentences?
Oh, that's a really good point. Really good question, John. I think it was interesting I was live streaming the event, and towards the end of his speech, he made, I thought, which was a pretty significant announcement, because we've covered, obviously, the ongoing struggle between New York Waterway and the city over the city wanting to preserve the Union Dry Dock site for public space. Well, he announced during the State of the City that there may be some headway this year, because there's been significant headway made behind the scenes, that is, between the governor's office and officials from New York Waterway. So that may be one of the main takeaways from the State of the City speech on Monday night.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty significant as well. I definitely am in agreement with you. And just to read you the excerpt, he said towards the tail end, as you just noted,
right.
I would be remiss if I didn't reiterate my administration's unwavering commitment to securing Union Dry Dock to create a waterfront park. Well, you may not have heard many updates recently. Rest assured that we're making real progress behind the scenes with both New York Waterway and the governor's office. I'm optimistic that we will finally see a positive ending this year that preserves Union Dry Dock for public open space. So, obviously, based on that remark, number one, it makes it sound like they're close, number one. And number two, he makes it sound like this is not going to be some sort of compromise plan. He's making it sound like this will be the contiguous waterfront park that we've heard people like the Fund for a Better Waterfront, the mayor, the council advocate for, as opposed to that ferry refueling and docking station the New York Waterway has pushed for. So it's certainly going to be interesting when we finally see the outcome.
Yeah, it will be interesting, right, John? Because then New York Waterway provides some renderings. In fact, I think at the announcement of his climate action plan back in April, it was just that morning of when New York Waterway released renderings of what their ferry maintenance terminal would look like at the Union Dry Dock site. So I guess they're withdrawing that from the table now.
Well, never say never in Hudson County. So New York Waterway doesn't seem like the time to quit to me. So I think there's still a couple rounds left in this fight. But let's see what happens.
Sure.
So thanks for checking that one out, Mark. We're going to take another break, our final break. We'll be back in just a moment.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John Arhitis with Mark Bucinich. So, Mark, I sent you on a bit of a unique assignment yesterday. Let you take a night off from politics, and I sent you over to Bayonne High School to cover the first ever all-female dual meet in wrestling.
Sure.
And that, as luck would have it, the Bayonne Beast went to the victory circle.
Yeah, I think they won pretty convincingly, John. 24-18 was the final score.
Yeah, so, you know, I don't think too many people knew that this was going to be a historical moment, but tell us a little bit about what you saw out there.
Yeah, it was interesting to report from Bayonne High School last night, John, and, you know, I had a chance to interview a couple of the coaches, Jared Luciani and Len Smith, and also a couple of the female wrestlers. And one of them, Samaya El-Khalid, I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, had a chance to interview her, talk about what drew her to wrestling, why it's important to her in her life. And she talked about, for example, you know, at first maybe her parents didn't want her to wrestle because she, believe it or not, she was wrestling against an all-boys team at first.
Fun fact, Mark, freshman year of high school, I wrestled against a girl. I won.
Oh, interesting. so very interesting. So, right, so she had to convince her parents because they said to her, well, you'll be wrestling against boys. But as we heard, as our viewers and readers will see from the story online, the state finally sanctioned a girls' dual matches. And so some of the girls on the Bayonne Bees team had participated in a couple tournaments maybe last year, but this was the very first time that they got to compete on Hudson County soil, and they went up against the Perth Amboy Panthers last night.
Let's take a look at that clip. Sounds interesting.
For the very first time in Hudson County, girls have been able to participating in a wrestling match with other girls. Well, tonight here in Bayonne, it's the Bayonne Bees versus the Perth Amboy Panthers. Mark Bucinich reporting in Bayonne for Hudson County View, the eye of the community.
All right, well, congratulations to those female grapplers from the Bayonne Bees squad. I mean, a job well done, and congratulations to the Bayonne High School at large. Now you are a part of the history books in New Jersey. Mark, great job covering the story. Thanks for helping me with the show today.
John, great to
Everyone,
be here.
Thank you for tuning in. As always, it's always a pleasure and a privilege. We'll see you back next week. Have a fantastic 7 days.